Good morning, Midnight's Edge fans. We're here to tell you that we have so much more to offer you now at our Mixed Tees store. Not just t-shirts and hoodies, but we do have plenty of those, and new designs for that matter. You can also get mugs, and of course our brand new limited Amber Turds stained blanket. That's right, just for your bed or wherever you need it. So head on over to Mixed Tees now and get all your apparel and goodies from Midnight's Edge.
Get up, wake up, this is your final warning. It's time for midnightsedge in the morning. The gang is ready to go and it's time for the show. It's time for midnightsedge in the morning.
Greetings, everybody. It's Friday, TGIF. How's everybody doing? We have Chris here with us from Bleeding Fool. How you doing?
Happy day before the Independence Day of America.
Indeed. This is true.
Yeah.
It's the 250th. It's that.
It's huge. It's huge.
Yeah. There's another anniversary. This weekend is the 35th anniversary since the release of the masterpiece that is Terminator 2 Judgment Day.
Right. That's right.
Time sure flies. I remember that. I was a kid.
And good
but
morning,
I remember
Andre.
that. Yeah. Good
And
morning. Greetings.
actually, this month also marks the anniversary of when I officially started at Midnight's Edge, even though I had been working in the background. I think you officially announced it in a big bunch of places and all that kind of business. For some reason, July sticks out to me.
Wow.
Yeah,
Okay.
Yeah,
And
it
you
was
just
when the
started
Spider-Man thing and all that kind of stuff were done and all that. Yeah.
Are you mentioning your soft launch?
Yeah, I hadn't even got to that yet. But
Okay.
speaking of, yeah, so there is a new Midnight's Edge After Dark channel that's up. We'll see how long YouTube allows it to be up. It hasn't been monetized yet, but if you guys want to head on over there and help that out, I'll share that link with my mods here. So they
Yeah.
can
The
send
link
you
for that
everything.
is also in the description already, so you can just head down
Oh.
there if for
And
for anyone
hopefully
being
there'll be
patient.
another video or two up the next day or so for y'all to see. And yes, we do plan on eventually streaming over there too.
Nice.
We got to get the numbers up first.
Yeah, you need to get monetization going before you can even
Yeah.
stream.
Yeah, pretty much. I sent it to the wrong group here. Mods, where are you? There we are. Okay. There you go. And I heard a ding, so that means we also have a latent gay Paul Chato. How you doing?
With echoes and everything.
What are you talking about? Don't call me gay. I'm not gay.
You're
You seem
gay,
very
that's
happy.
$3 bill.
I am quite gay.
He's quite gay. Good morning. Good morning. And good morning, Andre. I didn't get to introduce him proper, but yes.
Yeah, well, I'm here, so yeah, I'm the same as Wednesday.
Yes, indeed. So
And-
good morning, everybody. We have some confirmation on leaks. And we also have a ratioed Odyssey trailer. That reminds me, I got to get tickets yet. I don't know
Yeah,
money.
indeed. Yeah, we did a video on that yesterday, but yeah, let's begin with that. Did any of you fine gentlemen see the new trailer for the Odyssey?
Unfortunately.
Yep.
Well, we all saw Elliot at knife point.
Yeah.
I was so scared.
That poor little boy was going to get stabbed.
I think so. Or
And they're
gored. Don't they
weird-looking
use the term
six-pack.
gored back in that time, back in
I think
those
so.
days?
I think you're correct. I think that is grammatically correct for the era.
Yeah, you have to use the right words.
Oh, and that's why one thing that stuck out to me, speaking of that, I'm glad you brought that up, Paul.
Dad.
The vernacular in this, the way they speak,
Oh,
it feels completely out of date. It's like you're pining for a daddy that you'll never see, like a little bastard.
Well, this goes hand in hand with the Emily Wilson translation.
It's like,
which
who the
did
fuck
use
talks
more
like
than one
that back
word.
then? Like, what the fuck?
Well, it's the idea of doing it for the modern audience and to make it understandable for the modern audience. So then it doesn't matter.
You might as
how
well
this
said your
goes
daddy
back
went
then.
out for a pack of cigarettes and never came back.
Well, I mean, and not to beat a dead horse, but Supergirl, I noticed, had anachronisms, earthly anachronisms coming out of the mouths of aliens. Like I could
Yeah.
totally understand.
That's kind of a Guardians of the
Supergirl's-
Galaxy thing, though.
I could totally understand Supergirl saying, Bebop Deluxe or whatever, but to have Ruthie say, wait a second, that's an Earthism. Why is she saying that? Now that I
Yeah,
found
it stuck out here more than it did in Guardians of the Galaxy leak. We let it slide more there because the aliens all had the same thing. They were all on the joke until they weren't, and then when the joke had to be on them, right? Like,
right.
yeah, that's kind of how,
but the
especially
Odyssey-
Rocket and Groot worked.
Now,
Or,
was I incorrect, or was Tom Holland speaking with an American accent?
Oh yeah, totally. That's the other thing. That's what I'm saying. Like when that scene between him and Pattinson sounds like it should be something in a modern day fucking teen drama.
Yeah.
It's like, what the fuck am I watching here?
Pattinson looked good. He looked
That's not the
menacingly.
part. That's not the problem. He's like, you're
Oh, yeah.
pining for a daddy you'll never meet, like some
Yeah, that's-
sniveling little bastard. It's like, who the fuck would talk like that back then? Can you imagine Kirk Douglas talking like that?
Yeah.
Well, we do have Tony Curtis enunciating in his Bronx tone. I think it was during Spartacus.
It still was better than this.
That's a pretty funny moment. I remember seeing it in the theater, going, "Wait a second, this is the dawning of the time of the people."
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's one incident though, where this is in the trailer, so that tells me the whole movie's like this.
Yeah, I know.
Like the only one who feels like they're talking like they're in the right movies thus far has been Matt Damon, but he has what, like 3 lines in the
Right.
whole trailer?
Do you think he's got enough star power to carry the movie?
No. I mean, the movie's going to do fine, but I feel like this is where the cracks are really going to start to show because Tenet, Nolan got away with it because of COVID.
Yeah.
This time, I think there's going to be an astronomical drop off that second weekend that they're not going to be able to explain.
I actually think Barbie helped Oppenheimer. I know.
That's why I don't count it. You notice that, Chris? Like,
Yeah.
that's like the exception to the rule. That is like the most non-Nolan film he's ever made.
Well, there's one thing. It was hard to hear sometimes. And the explosion, he should have done a CGI explosion or just used actual footage. I don't know what.
Well, the hard to hear thing, that's not exclusive to Nolan. Yes.
No,
He's
but
one of the bigger
No,
proponents.
but that's a typical Nolan
it
thing.
is.
To like,
It is.
I have
It
to
is.
say,
Yeah.
whenever I see a Nolan movie, I'm very, very happy to live in subtitle land. Now, the one exception to that was Oppenheimer, actually, because
I was just going to say Oppenheimer wasn't so bad, actually.
no, thank God for that, because at that time I was in Tenerife, where I had to travel across the island to get to like
Then you
the
had to
one
deal with 3
theater
different
that screens movies
yeah.
in non-dubbed version, and even that is subbed in
3
Spanish.
dubbed over. Yeah, I was going to say.
So yeah, and I'm not fluent in Spanish, let's say.
But no, and the funny thing is I tried to rewatch Oppenheimer.
Mm.
It doesn't hold up,
No.
at least in my opinion. Like that first viewing of it, it's a good enough viewing. It's like whatever. But then the second viewing, I couldn't get through the first 20 minutes.
I saw it
That's
twice
how
in
I
the
felt the
theater.
first time. Because I remember thinking within 5 minutes, because there's something about the editing that's like really, really choppy,
Yes.
and it's like
Yes.
too fast. And I was like thinking, oh my God, the whole movie is going to be like this.
Mm,
Tenet
Because I
has the
was
same
like,
problem.
yeah, because I was tremendously disappointed with Oppenheimer, and especially the explosion is the worst explosion ever seen on film.
yeah.
I mean, I halfway expected Nolan to blow up a real nuke, or find some way to get enough conventional explosions to mimic the power of like
Would have
the
been,
Castle Bravo, which totally can be done.
you know, what would have been really hilarious had he swore the whole time he was using real bombs and footage and whatnot, and he just turns it and splices that same old fucking bomb footage we've seen a million fucking
Well, that would have been
times.
better.
Should have. He should
You
have.
know, right? Like
Yeah.
it's like I would have actually laughed at that. I'd been like, well, he didn't lie.
Mhm.
Yeah, I was so disappointed because like here's the explosion, and what was it? Oh, dude, he just lit a lighter and just zoomed in on that. I was like, what the hell is this?
Oh, and I gassed
Music
him up.
videos have better explosions.
No
I
shit.
saw better fireworks last night with better.
Yeah,
I
Michael
know.
had a bit more fireworks in it. Yeah. Fucking just like I was like thinking that too when I was watching the movie the second time trying to get through
Yeah.
it. But anyhow.
Yeah, I saw a comment that said that Nolan hasn't done a good movie since Inception, and you know what?
I agree.
I agree.
I didn't like Interstellar either.
I hate Interstellar. There are some good. There's a couple of really, really good scenes in it, but those are like 3 scenes. And apart from that,
and the
movie
ending is
as a
wretched.
whole, dude, the ending is okay. Here's like the thing, and Chato is going to understand exactly where I'm coming from here. Within the field of like cosmology and stuff like that, dude, there's so much pseudoscience. So much pseudoscience that is pure adventure and bullshit that is being sold to the public as if it's real. Like, for instance, I can tell you that if you just look into the research why we think we have these things and it's being treated as absolute facts, if you go and look at it, it's very, very obvious that these things are pure and total bullshit, and they have absolutely no grounds whatsoever to claim that these things are real. Dark matter doesn't exist. Parallel universes doesn't exist. It's pure freaking fiction. Multiple dimensions don't exist.
Yeah, that's something that
it's
drives me
lost
nuts.
in math. All of this is like pure spin. It's dribbles, nice to sell books, but it's absolute fucking pseudoscientist.
Yeah, to me, a lot of that shit.
And the funny thing, black holes might not even exist either. Certainly not in the form that I've been told.
I have dark matter fatigue.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah, so do I.
I noticed.
Which, of course, you well know, because it just grinds my gears, because to me, it is the single most obvious thing that it doesn't freaking exist.
You know,
so
what
how
grinds
are
my
we
gears?
spending billions upon billions looking for this thing, which was an obvious fiction?
Well,
like this, yeah. Don't get me
it kind of
started.
reminds me of time travel. Like, I love the idea and concept of time travel, but it just falls apart when you start to really break it down. Even like the butterfly effect, I find really ridiculous. Like, to me, it's like, honestly, I feel like if you could, let's just say for hypothetically, like if you could travel through time, like, I don't think you could affect anything unless you did something major, right? Like, I don't think slaughtering a cow or killing an individual who had no real impact on history is going to make a huge difference. I think the universe will just work itself out. Now, if you go back and kill baby Hitler, now we're talking a completely different conversation here. But then again, like with Andre, I'm with him. I don't believe in this alternate universe shit. I don't believe in this, theory that we have this switch over where people.
Yeah, because it's based on literally nothing. It's basically, here's we have some data, and then some asshole extrapolated something completely out of his ass, and it's taken as gospel.
Well, and I brought up time travel, because alternate dimensions work the same way. Like, you have to look at it like every little choice you make would create an alternate dimension. Do you realize how many alternate dimensions we would have?
Yeah.
So that's what I'm saying. Again, it goes along with my theory of it really wouldn't matter unless you're somebody in the grand scheme of things that actually impacts history. And still, at that point, it doesn't prove that there's an alternate universe of anything.
Right.
Right? Like, it doesn't.
It's like the what if comics. I think that.
Yeah.
As far as Nolan goes, though, I think he had this 5-year window where he made some pretty good movies. Whatever you think about Batman Begins, I think that's really where it kind of started. He got some traction with Memento, but that was really sort of a trick, right? That movie had
because it was done backwards, yeah.
Right. But he did Batman Begins, then he did The Prestige, which I will say is one of his better movies, and then he did not Dark Knight Rises, but The Dark Knight in 2008, and then he followed that up with Inception. So he's got 5.
The Dark Knight Rises is kind of where he went off the rails.
Dark Knight Rises is where it kind of fell apart.
Yeah,
I'm sorry, Andre. Say again.
No, the band, the Pet Shop Boys, like the singer in that band, Neil Tennant, who he once said that most bands and artists, they have an imperial period. where they seemingly can do no wrong, where just everything hits perfectly. Pet Shop Boys had that in the late 80s. But then suddenly that period is over. Maybe they change, maybe the culture changes. So whatever they had no longer fits as well as it once did. Whatever happens, now they suddenly have to work for the continued success, and it'll never be what it was in the Imperial period. I thought that was a really good parable right there, because Chris Nolan, I think he has had his Imperial period.
Yeah.
It is behind him, just like Steven Spielberg.
Oh,
And this is the same reason why Quentin Tarantino only wants to make so many movies. I think that Nolan's Imperial period is behind him, because I do have to say, like, his last 3 movies, they've been a bunch of shit. I don't like Oppenheimer. Didn't like it on the first viewing.
I loved it.
Well, that's cool. That's cool.
We know you do.
But you know what? I prefer the one from the 80s, the one with Dwight Schultz, like the Fat Man and Little Bump. I thought that was a much, much better movie, covering the exact same subject.
But there wasn't nudity in it.
You know what? Nudity is nullified when it is that Elena from the Poor Man's Black Widow.
And you
when
forget
she's
where
the one
Andre
who's being
comes from.
nude, then that's nullified. And besides, I'm from Norway. We have better nudity in the trailers in the cinema
Right.
before the movies.
I was gonna say in the lobby probably.
Yeah,
Some lady just walking through.
I'm glad you mentioned Spielberg too, because look, nobody's talking about Disclosure Day, and the more you think about that movie in hindsight, you're like, what was the flipping point?
It's made $200 million.
That's it.
It was basically Spielberg trying to recapture his golden days. You know, like, I really like the band analogy. You know, where it's this band who think they've gotten so far removed from what made them what they were, and now they're trying to get back to their roots, and it's just not working.
Well,
right?
I mean, you guys have heard me say many times, especially in regards to the Frantics, that's one of the things I realized is that you have a short period of time to be relevant. That's another way to say it. You don't necessarily have to be huge like the Pet Shop Boys or Spielberg. We had our moment in the sun, and it was funny that all of us saw the Monty Python reunion at the Hollywood Bowl movie, and all 4 of us came to the same conclusion: we're quitting now. We do not want to be 5 old men, in our case 4 old men, on stage jumping around trying to relive our past.
Instead, you're an old man hanging out with us losers.
That's exactly that's how I'm going to spend the remainder of my life, is hanging out with you losers.
We know you're probably going to croak on the screen, right?
That could very well happen, and then you can record it and then make it a separate segment.
We'll put it on a video with Arms of the Angel. Yeah.
Midnight's Edge, Paul Croaks.
Midnight's Eulogy.
It's going to be our biggest clip ever. It's going to be it's going to be
on the morning
bigger
of
than
September
the one about
19th.
About
Paul
the
choked on his
movie
breakfast.
So it's like anyone with that skill level is still going to be capable of imitating their past efforts, which is kind of what Spielberg has been doing. It's not like the man is completely incapable of manning a camera and pushing actors around on stage. Woody Allen was up and down and up and down. Clint Eastwood was able to last a good long time. I think, when it comes to a name artist, there's something to be said for the fact that if at the very least they're not insulting their audience, then you can continue the work. So, for instance, a fairly obscure band like Sparks, I'm a huge Sparks fan. I mean, Mammoth, and they had their Kimono My House and Propaganda albums long time ago. Then they sort of came out of obscurity with the Giorgio Moroder album and became almost invented club digital dance music.
Right.
But they're making an album every year, and as a Sparks fan, I know they're not going to insult my intelligence. This is not.
It's a lot like AC/DC. Yeah, I drew.
Yeah, there at no time it could be filler, But I'll listen to a bad Yes album than a bad Britney Spears album or any album by the country chanteuse who's getting married.
But the
Taylor
difference
Swift.
between those guys and some of the other ones is, and this is where Spielberg falls in, is he tried going way too many different directions, right? Like it'd be like if Sparks all of a sudden decided they were going to do a jazz fusion album, and then
They did an
were gonna
opera.
try
Now.
rap.
They did an opera.
Well, I mean, that's one thing, it does happen, right? Like, and this is why I think bands are a good analogy, because sometimes that shit works, sometimes it don't. And with directors, there's also a demarcation line. We brought it up already with Nolan and now with Spielberg again with, certain things. And I feel like it's either that prestige film or the film that they're always close to, or a film they're forced to do that usually is a demarcation line in their filmography. And in Nolan's case, it might be when they forced him to do The Dark Knight Rises.
Yeah, maybe
It could very
Ridley
well
Scott. Ridley Scott did okay with Gladiator 1 as being maybe his final decent movie.
I'll give him The Martian, but he was kind of
Martian. I love The Martian. Okay,
that was brilliant.
Martian.
Yeah, but I don't know how much he had to do with that overall. But yeah, see, because that's the thing we start hearing from a lot of the people behind the scenes when it comes to Ridley Scott. He's more or less just a name on a production company at this point, because everybody else does all the work. He just shows up, says action, and then leaves.
Yeah, it is what it is. I mean, a lot of
because they said he directed the whole fucking Odyssey, the second film, Gladiator, from a trailer, I guess.
It wasn't very good.
No.
So, anyways, yeah, I'm always amazed at artists that are able to keep some kind of heat going in their careers, but it doesn't happen often. And I really did like the whole first section of Interstellar up until it got to the 2001 and Space Oddity.
Me too.
Moment.
Me too. Totally.
Yeah.
Then from that point on, I went, okay, I don't get what's
you're
going on.
in. I mean, at that point, you ride the ride till it's over.
Right.
Yes,
and that's where the last 30, 40 minutes is where the movie goes completely off the rails. But anyhow, I'm assuming the Odyssey is going to be a lot more of that to get it kind of back on track of where we were talking. And
we're not really getting a sense of the movie. It's dark, and
I kind of have a sense of what it's going to be already. It's going to be this overly.
We know the book. I know the book.
That. Yeah, I was going to say we already kind of know the story.
So who's Elliot in this?
Well, Elliot's one of the warriors, I'm assuming.
Dying right there.
Yeah, he's got an arrow.
Assuming it's Achilles.
Oh, that would be terrible.
No, actually, Andre, I think they already confirmed it is not Achilles, which I don't know why they let this go on for so long.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Well, they couldn't have it anymore, which is why they basically let it leak that it's Cilius or something like that. I don't recall the name, but it's something to that effect.
Got it.
You got an arrow. I got an arrow in the knee.
Oh, and I believe you and me, they're completely aware of this because Andre's video, I think, broke it all down really well yesterday. Basically, where, we got this fucking news access thing where Elliot's out there talking about their six-pack and boxing and their addiction to boxing and all this shit.
Yes.
It's like, don't tell me this isn't out there to try and make them look more manly. It's like, doesn't matter how many fucking fake muscles you put on this bitch, we're never going to accept them as a man.
No.
Sorry. Well, that's not going to happen.
Yeah, especially after that podcast that I also covered in that video from a couple of weeks ago, where Paige spoke about healthy masculinity, which boiled down to sometimes you just have to have a good cry.
Nice to be lectured to.
And I love how she overthinks being a man. It's like at that moment, you're 100% right, Andre. She's acting like a woman. Yeah. It's like a man does not fucking think that much. In fact, a man can have a sock on from yesterday, a brand new sock from today, a dirty shirt, and completely brand new pressed pants, and it would not matter to him unless he's a metrosexual, right? Like, men don't think about shit that much. They don't think about what their hair looks like all that much. It's just, we just go about our day unless we have to look fancy, right? Like, and then we don't even really worry about it that much either. We all have one suit that all looks the same. We put it on. Yeah. We're pretty much uniformed that way. This is why we work well as soldiers. because we're good at following directions.
You know what I think is wrong on so many levels. Just the trailer. The movie might impress all of us. We might go, "Oh my gosh, that actually surprised me." I don't.
Well,
think
it might, and I'll be the
Might,
first to
I
admit
doubt
it
it.
if that were to happen.
Yeah, me too. But the first problem it has is I see nothing mythological. I don't even see the Trojan horse in this final trailer.
Yeah, it doesn't have any feelings of like mythology. Like, if you
Nothing,
wanted to,
no scale, no grand epic at all.
this
Well,
should
he's
be a
hiding
movie.
hiding the
But what he's not here's what he's not hiding. He's not hiding repeated visuals of actors that I'm tired of. Zendaya is one. Another is, although missing in this one, is Charlize Theron. John Leguizamo is in this trailer a couple of times, and of course Elliot Page, a big shot. I don't have a problem with Lupita. I just don't think she would have. She appears to be a beautiful woman that would have stopped 10,000 ships.
I'll say it. She's fucking ugly. I'm not a good-looking dude. I'm not a good-looking dude, but she's not a good-looking woman. Sorry.
No. She's fine. I have no comment about the way she looks when she's trying to look pretty, but she's not. They're not trying to make her look
I have to say, though, I thought it was a complete and total joke because we get like one shot of her in the trailer, right?
Yep.
And that is basically her being carried away by the police at the time.
Isn't that strange?
That's freaking
I was looking
amazing.
for the ice meme somebody made, and I can't find it. But yeah,
Well, there were other memes. There were other AI clips.
Oh,
nasty!
Nasty.
Yeah, I
bits.
was like thinking, shall I include this in the video? I was like, no. We'll be stricken off of YouTube.
No, and I mean, I was just being honest with my opinion on this. But like, look, I'm not alone in my opinion on this, and this is these two things are the things that are sticking out like a sore thumb in the film the most, right? Like, I mean,
where's the light coming from on him?
That was a good question. Yeah.
Only a question that only Mr. Chato could have asked.
Not just that, like fucking.
Well, no, that's easy. He's looking at the lantern, right? Because we said
the lantern was behind him in the other shot.
Was it? Was it not in front of him? Or maybe he turned around or something.
But I was told halogen lights didn't exist back then, so Nolan can't use them.
Yeah. Everything has to be totally realistic.
Yeah, but anyway, I mean to switch off on you, but this is, the scene that everybody's talking about here.
Yeah. And basically, for those like in the age of AI, you can do anything, and
it has nothing to do with a race.
Oh, no. I assure you, Nolan, including that shot in the trailer, has everything to do with
No. I mean, why people are talking about her looks. Notice nobody is saying shit. I mean, a few people are pointing out that she's black.
No, that's true. Yeah,
but it mostly has to do with her actual looks. I've said it before. If you had casted Halle Berry circa 20 years ago in this role, guess what? Nobody would have said shit.
Well, they wouldn't have said as much.
Oh, they would have.
No,
they would have,
but not as much. No, she would have been fine in the role. Nobody would have said shit.
Nah. I mean, I do like the Trojan body cam videos. Those are my favorite.
I don't think people would have said as much as y'all think they would have. Because this never was a big deal until fucking recently. Like, that's what I'm saying.
Here's the thing, because right now you have to remember, people are saying more now than they otherwise would have because we now have 10 years of this shit behind us. If 20 years ago, I agree, if this movie had been made 20 years ago,
well, that's a different
Ghostbusters 2016.
That's what I mean.
All of the stuff, and you had Halle Berry. That, like for instance, say that the Odyssey, Troy came out in 2004, right? And then let's say that in 2008 came the Odyssey, and it's made from a different studio, so you have to
the Iliad.
You basically have to retell the events real quickly, and then you have Halle Berry in a brief appearance.
Nobody would
I
say
agree
shit.
with Tom. Very few would have said anything in that particular circumstance.
So
it is because of two things. One is because of where we are right now. The audiences have been browbeat. We had it with Supergirl only a few days ago, and of course, there's no Halle Berry here. Let's say she's tremendous.
She's not that good looking. That's my point. Yeah, I'm not talking about
So
her acting
my
skills.
misunderstanding, Tom, with what you said was if you take the 2004 Halle Berry and bring her into this movie now, nobody would complain. And I disagree.
No, they would say the
now
same
people
shit.
would complain.
No, they'd
Yeah.
say the
Today they
same
would.
shit now. You might have had
and
one
I'm
or
saying
two
that
critics
they would
an
complain
article
today.
Yeah.
You might have had one or two critics or an article say something, but even a guy on the street would have said, "Oh, Halle Berry's not white, but you know what?
Anyway,
Fuck it, it's Halle Berry." So like,
it
whatever.
just seems to me that they should know better. Everyone there in the production, absolutely knew that they were going to step into something or walk into a hornet's nest. Why would they purposely do that?
Well, I'm not going to speculate on their reasons, but this is something they have chosen to do, and adding this shot in the trailer is them doubling down on it.
Yeah.
Because if they weren't, I guarantee you there are and apparently this isn't Helen. This is like the other character that's played by Lupita, the twin sister. Apparently, so
she plays two roles.
There. Yeah,
Jesus.
She plays two roles.
I was going to say they didn't really glam her up very much either. That was the other problem.
So,
but now that I know
here's
that,
like the thing: if they wanted to
yeah.
shut people up, they would have shown one of the shots of her looking nice and glam and worthy of going to war over, which I guarantee you has to be in the movie. But this is what they chose to put in the trailer. That's sending a message. That's making a statement right there.
Well, Jill
it's
mentioned
supposed to make the critics feel guilty or something like that. But dude, did that backfire?
Jill mentioned in one of the posts that Vanessa Williams was in a previous version of this, which I remember, which I think was the Italian version.
And again, Vanessa Williams is 10 times better looking than her.
Miniseries.
Yeah, she's 10 times better looking too.
I think a lighter skinned woman would have maybe even Thandie Newton at her prime, I think, could pull off the role as some sort of exotic, beautiful woman. But let's be real. I don't think anyone can be cast in some of these roles that's not Greek for some people, because I don't necessarily think it's racism. I think a lot of it's nationality. But let's not miss the fact that Nolan is the president of the Directors Guild of America. So he has to make a statement now. There's no telling what the culture is with his studio, with his jobs, with the people in the echo chamber that he lives in.
Oh, he's woke as fuck. I guarantee you.
Natural decision. I'm sorry, what?
I guarantee you he's woke as fuck.
Yeah.
Like, this whole thing reeks of woke. Are you kidding me? Like, and then he's doubling down on it. Like, this whole thing, like I said, this last week, this trailer, putting Elliot out there with the fucking boxing shit. I think you're just having issues again, Paul.
He's talking. Yeah, we got it. We got him, Paul.
But anyhow, I don't hear him. I might switch browsers.
The point is they're clearly aware of the issues they have. That's why they're doing what they're doing. But again, they're setting it up for the same old story, same old song and dance, where we're going to be the fucking racist problem and the sexist problem. They're already blaming Supergirl on us. In fact, they're directly blaming Supergirl because they clump us in with this manosphere shit. That's the other problem.
Yeah. Right.
So it's like, even though we're not, it doesn't matter. It's all over again. It's like the alt-right, like when we got tagged in that too. It's like, Jesus Christ. It's like, we're just talking about a shitty fucking movie. And even Vanessa Williams, is that who you mentioned before? Or
yeah.
Like, my whole point was it has less to do with the skin color and more to do with how they look. Vanessa Williams, another great example of a very beautiful woman. Yeah. Less to do with her skin color. Like, that's the thing, is you got to talk about a woman who can actually manipulate men into doing these things. As long as there's somebody who you can believe that's doing that, that's the point. I can't believe this bitch is going to manipulate somebody out of a sandwich. Right? Like, just, yeah. And then Elliot, like, him out there doing the boxing thing and showing off their ugly looking six-pack and shit like that. It's like, look, I got no room to talk. I'm a chunky motherfucker, but dude, you ain't convincing nobody. Yeah. And all you're doing is just trying to convince yourself at this point, especially with that interview.
Yeah.
Can you hear me now, Paul?
Yes, I have a problem with Safari every once in a while. So
it seems to be, and it seems to affect mainly me.
I wonder why.
I always thought it was just Paul trying to get out of an uncomfortable discussion.
Right.
Oh, sorry, I'm having some technical issues.
I think my browser's set to a certain number of words Tom can actually use. And
That's
after that, it
Probably.
cuts off.
Yeah. Same AI bot that's moderating YouTube in general.
Yes.
I think the casting too is all over the place. I don't necessarily have a problem with Matt Damon, but
I just have to say, for the optics, it's Matt Damon trying to get home again.
Yes.
Like, yes, like
Without potatoes.
Yeah, because this is like, I get that Nolan, he likes to work with people he has worked with before,
right.
and many people in this movie are people he has worked with before, including
and
Elliot
Hathaway.
Page.
And Hathaway.
Anne Hathaway,
Yeah.
Matt Damon. But still, I have to say that the casting over here is all over the place,
Yeah.
right? And Matt Damon, I would actually say that he's a problem too. For one thing, you don't look all that Greek, so that's the thing. But just this whole meme thing, it's Matt Damon going home again, struggling with going home. I mean, that alone is reason enough to disqualify him from playing Odysseus. I mean, it's a freaking joke. It was a joke already. I mean, it was a joke at the time of The Martian, but it kind of worked for that movie, right? But that means, okay, now it's done. You can now never, ever have Matt Damon in any kind of movie where the plot is him trying to get home, unless it is a scary movie style parody.
I'm going to say it.
You could have like the Wayans brothers do a parody on the Odyssey. Maybe have Paul Feig direct it or something, and then have Matt Damon star in that to make the joke complete.
Well,
but having him star in the Odyssey proper, dude.
I agree with Andre 100% because I love Matt Damon. He's probably my top 5 modern actors. Problem is what was Leonardo DiCaprio fucking busy?
I know,
because,
right? How many movies has he done?
How many Italian actors do we have really that are, I mean, like, look, like, let's be real here. Like, fucking Andre's got a point. And this is a say, you know what he did? He casted this film. Maybe this is a launching point for you, Paul. Sorry for interrupting, but he casted this film like he did, like the old classic Hollywood big epics. But the problem is it's miscast, right? Like this is like John Wayne across the board as Genghis Khan. Yeah. Like that's what it feels like.
Yeah, I just have to bring this. King Kain Rumsky says so. Ben Affleck must be in the movie too. Should have gone with him. Why the hell?
He would have been a better choice. He looks more. Yeah, he looks more.
Passes more for a Greek than does Matt Damon.
Anyway,
he looks
sorry,
more
Paul. You had a point.
So yeah, it should totally have been Ben Affleck instead of Matt Damon in this particular role. Carry on.
Because I'm old enough to remember, my muscle memory kind of wants this entire film to be populated by English actors like Gielgud.
Yeah, sure.
You know, one of the jokes I had, growing up as a kid was I was shocked that the Nazis actually spoke with a German accent. Because when you watch all the movies, it's all Brits, right? So you've got all these British people. Sure. Hitler was a Brit, and everyone's a Brit. So whenever you always defaulted to, didn't matter where you came from, Russia or whatever.
Kind of like Nosferatu did, yeah.
Yeah, you've got all these Brits playing the roles, and it kind of naturally fit in my brain. I didn't mind that, but the Americanisms in this. I mean, again, you had Spartacus, and you had a whole bunch of American actors in that. I can't recall whether there was much cringe in it, but I do.
Outside of the one you mentioned, not really.
Pardon me?
Outside of the one that you mentioned, not really. That stick out to me.
So you mean you had Kirk Douglas, but I mean, I don't think Matt Damon is Kirk Douglas.
Not in the same way, no.
Not at all.
No, Kirk, you let it get away with that. But I see what you're saying, Paul, and I totally agree with you. Even if everybody was speaking with like an English accent, I think it would feel a little bit more realistic. You're right.
No, it adds something to it, I think, subconsciously for us.
And if Nolan is so interested in verisimilitude, then how come everyone isn't Greek?
Exactly.
Right. Well, and see, this is the thing. Are we thrusting? And I was thinking of this yesterday when I was editing the video for Andre. It's like, are we thrusting this shit onto Nolan? We keep talking about him and his verisimilitude. The only time I ever really remember that being a thing was during Oppenheimer, and he played into it a little bit. But at any point, has he ever talked about how much he's into making things so realistic and grounded?
There was Dunkirk.
Yeah, there's that, and there was The Dark Knight. But again, it's more like the conversations around him in the films. I'm not saying he hasn't, Paul. I'm just saying I don't remember a specific interview where he has talked about the realism and the verisimilitude being a big deal to him. Like, I can point to you the direct interview where why we talk about that word to this day, because Richard Donner, talks about it in The Making of Superman, where he's like, verisimilitude was a very big deal to me, to the point where they literally made me this sign, and I still have it hanging over my door to this day. Because, that was one thing he went into with every movie, not just Superman, but mainly Superman, was he had to make it believable, right? And verisimilitude was a very big deal to him. I have yet to remember a conversation where Nolan has actually talked about, the entire film as of itself being accurate. He'll pinpoint on one thing that I've noticed, like the bomb, right? And using an actual explosion in Oppenheimer. But to me, that's almost like a fucking gimmick you tell the press, right? Like when they used to make up shit like with King Kong back in the 70s, when they're like, oh yeah, we used that mechanical one through the whole movie, and it's literally in one shot, right? It's Rick Baker through the rest of the movie. They just want to lie to the audience to give the illusion. Like, is that what Nolan is doing, is going along with the illusion? Or are we creating this persona for him that doesn't really exist? Like, is that a logical question? I mean, does that make sense?
The other way to look at it is that I think Cillian Murphy was mesmerizing in Oppenheimer. I think a lot of the success rested on the fact that he was just so good in it. And is Matt Damon going to be able to carry the movie? I mean, we have to think about it in business terms and stop whinging about what stuff we don't like. Movies are weird. We all know that. You never know what's going to make them successful. Right. Although we've had a fairly good track record, guessing the stinkers lately.
Yeah.
Like I said, I think this is going to have a mixed reception.
We get those stinkers, and then we get blamed for making them stink.
Exactly. Like He-Man, that's what I got blamed for.
We had a good split on Toy Story.
Yeah. But I don't think anybody argued that the movie was going to make money, though. See, that's
no one said otherwise.
Yeah. See, I mean, we may have had a bit of differences throughout the sphere on the our opinions.
The merits of the movie itself.
Yeah, exactly.
No one ever argued that one wasn't going to be a massive hit.
But giving myself due credit, I liked the movie and it was massive success. So, excuse me.
You win.
Yeah,
you win in this instance. I'll give you that win. You can have it.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Like that's the only thing that's working against Toy Story right now is Minions and Monsters is actually getting super duper good buzz.
And I will say that we have also gotten a ton of wins over the last 10 years. Unfortunately, we didn't want to be right. We wanted to be wrong. Here we are. Marvel is dead. No one cares about Doomsday leaking. Star Wars
even
gone.
Spider-Man. Like I know it's still popular, but I have a feeling this one's going to underperform considering the last film.
Dude, all we have left is Conan. Thank God. So yeah.
Well, and the thing with Spider-Man, like guys, that movie comes out in less than a month.
Yep.
Nobody's really talking about it. Yes, I went to try and buy tickets, and the first few nights of sales are up. But I'm sitting here going, gosh, I wonder if this is going to underperform, and it has nothing to do with the last Spider-Man movie because, as we constantly point out, it's pretty obvious that Spider-Man 3 was the highest grossing of the Tobey Maguire films because of Spider-Man 2, right?
Yep.
Like everybody loved that film, so they made sure to come back for the third film. Most people don't like the third film, even though it's the highest grossing one.
This was the only fantastical thing, I think, in this trailer.
I agree. I was going to point that out, Paul. I think that besides...
Where's the Kraken?
Yeah, I want a Kraken. I want to clash with them. I just want some spectacle, like even Wolfgang Peterson, was it, who did Troy? I mean, he had a string of fun movies. This almost seems experimental. You know what I mean? Like from the casting, from the movie being very dark, from adapting a feminist take on the Odyssey, to the dialogue, to really trying to sort of hide the fantastical Clash of the Titans type stuff, like you said, the Kraken and whatnot.
Yeah.
It feels experimental. And I think that might be the part of the problem that I'm having with, just what I'm seeing.
Well, we are getting the toilet bowl here.
It just seems small too. It doesn't seem epic.
You know what else it reminds me of? What it's
Interesting.
trying to do. It's trying to feel like it's trying to cater to that Dune crowd. Like the trailer feels like it's very much ripping off the last Dune trailer.
Interesting.
Like,
Well, I mean, it might be.
and I really
somewhat
felt
kinda
it
linked
during
into
that.
but where's my sandworm? You
Well,
know,
no, but
where's
I
that
really
one?
exactly like that's the thing that's missing. But like I really felt it in that throne room, or not throne room, but that sequence in the sand pit castle thing there. Like I'm like,
Yeah.
this feels like I'm watching Dune all of a sudden. Like
Yeah, I think
it
that's
feels like
right
a
here.
million different things,
Yeah.
but it doesn't seem to have its own language. Right?
Yeah.
Like and Damon is fine. It's just the rest of the cast is wretched. Like I'm talking from top to bottom. Like
We haven't even mentioned Charlize Theron, who's also in
yeah,
Suffrage.
and speaking of British accents, you even have another Brit in here not speaking in a British accent, but he's
Yeah, I
using his
know.
American accent.
Tom Holland, right?
And no, Patterson.
Oh, right,
Pattinson.
sure, yeah.
Fucking,
he a
he's
Brit?
doing the same goddamn thing. Yes.
Ah,
People forget that because he's done nothing but American teen roles mostly.
And that's an
didn't know.
intentional decision. That's Nolan.
Yeah,
He's
that's what I'm saying.
he's
Like,
telling them how
and the
to
way
be.
he's talking to Tom Holland is, I'm like, am I watching Beverly Hills 90210 all of a sudden or what? Because
Yeah.
like this does not feel like an Odyssey type epic type film. And yes, the other things you're mentioning, I agree with wholeheartedly. I'm missing the Clash of the Titans type shit. You
Yeah.
know, where's the flying
Can I just
horses?
say,
Where's all the other
when I see this
mythological
clip
stuff
right
here?
here
The
of
dog.
of
yeah.
the dog, I'm thinking of Crypto
Yeah.
in Supergirl, right?
Yeah.
Contrast that to this dog, the
Yeah.
dog right here. Like you have like some sympathy and stuff. Like we don't know what's happened. We have like some sympathy and stuff for that dog right there, right?
Yeah.
I'm thinking of how badly they failed with Crypto because
Oh, gosh.
the more I really hate Crypto.
Yeah. Well, it never seems like a real dog, ever.
Yeah, no, like seriously,
That's the
I
number
don't know
one
why,
issue.
but as I was watching the movie, I just feel like I want to take that dog out back and old yell at him.
It needed some training, didn't it? And
Needed
I
a
want you to
bullet
see this
between the eyes.
one little
Yeah.
clip right here, right after this little desert fight. Look how small this battle sequence. I'll let it play for about 3 seconds. Right here. Wow. That's it. That's it.
Yeah, there's not
Just-
much
there's
action
no
in this.
sense of scale or epic, and this is an epic. I mean, it's right there in the genre. It should be an epic. So he's making intentional decisions. A lot of them seem quite woke. I'm open to being surprised. One of the great things about his movie, The Prestige, is that there's this trick. It's actually called The Prestige, where you sort of do this sleight of hand and you pull off the trick. Maybe he's going to pull off a trick. I don't think so, though, because I know enough about the material that's being adapted that I haven't had faith in this project.
Yeah, let's just say that if he were to include a twist ending, that would not be very true to the source material.
No, it
no. Who's Zendaya playing?
Athena.
Athena. So she's one of the goddesses.
Yeah.
Which again, in those kind of cases, I don't think people would care had you cast like Lupita as one of the gods. Like nobody's gonna
No,
say
right.
shit.
No, I agree.
Like even in this case, I've noticed hardly anybody is mentioning Zendaya, and I think that's part of the reason why, because she's playing a non-Earth character. So like in that case, that's not a problem. But I mean, look, at the end of the day, the movie's gonna come out in a week and a half.
2
We're gonna
weeks.
see, barely 2 weeks.
Week and a half. Yeah.
Yeah, so we'll see how it goes. We got some super chats to get to, which are more
Yeah,
important as far
right,
as I'm
let's stop
concerned
this.
than this movie.
Yeah.
The only reason I'm really going to see it, and this is the honest truth, is because somebody sent in a super chat for me to go see it. Otherwise, I would have probably not gone to see this one. I've been one of the few people who've been like, "Nah, I'm good." I don't.
Did
need
anybody
another
send
Nolan
me a
movie.
super chat to go see it? I didn't
No,
know.
you
We
don't
should
gotta
have
do it.
like a watch party of the 1997 miniseries.
Oh, I like that idea.
I think Selma Hayek should have been Athena.
Ooh.
See,
Yeah,
nobody
20
would have
years
said
ago.
anything. Yeah,
Wouldn't Selma Hayek be cool as Athena?
Agreed.
Yeah, totally.
No one
Absolutely.
no one denies you that, Paul. That's a
no,
win.
absolutely.
That's a win. As long as she has
But
a
they don't-
snake around her neck.
I don't see Athena. I mean, Zendaya looks young for her age.
Yeah.
And I mean, I've always pictured Athena being a more mature.
I'd have
For
no
me,
issues with that.
Goddess.
It's like they're making Zendaya a thing. I have never looked upon her visage and thought, wow, how alluring,
That's
Vanessa
right.
Williams, very alluring.
Yeah.
Halle Berry, very alluring.
Totally.
Zendaya, no,
No.
not for me. And I'm somebody who will go on the record and say, hey, look, even Sydney Sweeney, she's not that alluring. I mean, her décolletage is certainly attractive, but
She has her moments. She can look alluring.
she can look very pretty, but she's not. I don't think she's a classic beauty. There are some classic beauties out there that make Zendaya and Sydney Sweeney look like peanut butter and jelly. I mean, I'll leave it there. Jessica Lange, for instance.
Yeah. Well, let's see what you guys are talking about out there.
Let's.
Kenneth LaRock says, hot up here. Hey, all. I'm trying to remember where exactly you're at, Kenneth. But yeah, it's been warm in Wisconsin the last few days, too. But it finally cooled off a little bit today after the rain. We got Ruby who gifted a membership. Thank you for that, Ruby. And also sent in a $2 super chat to say, have a safe and fantastic 4th of July. Yes, that's true. Tomorrow is the 4th. It just creeped up on us.
That's right. We're done with Canada Day.
Yeah.
I celebrated the 4th. I watched The Patriot with Mel Gibson.
Watching that tonight.
That's good.
And it's good on rewatch, too. We're also going to watch Yankee Doodle Dandy.
Wow.
I have to say,
with James Cagney?
Yeah, the original.
Probably the best Dean Devlin and Roland Emmerich movie is The Patriot. I don't care what anybody says. I
no
know the
doubt.
Stargate fans are going to hate me for that, but
Stargate is horrible. The movie's terrible.
No,
it's completely screwed it up.
No, come on.
And yes, I know they did Independence Day as well, and I love Independence Day, but the better film is The Patriot.
If you're going to watch a 4th of July movie from those two, The Patriot is the right choice.
Exactly.
What about the Tom Cruise movie in a wheelchair?
No,
sounds all right.
Born on the 4th of July.
But that's just a little too serious.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, it's not a bad choice.
It's not a bad choice, but you know what? I think Forrest Gump kind of knocked the legs out from under him on the 4th of July.
A little bit. You're not wrong.
Or you just watch a rerun of Hulkamania.
I Cthulhu
May he
says,
rest
Paul,
in peace.
Paul teasing. So may he rest in peace. Yeah. I Cthulhu says, this one's for Paul. So disappointed, expecting more from you. You never explained how our sun, technically green, not yellow. Get on those top 10s, Tom. Working on it, my friend.
I mean, in the comic book, there were no two suns. There was only the one sun, which made so much sense. I've been fielding some very interesting comments with my latest video comparing the actual comic to the movie, the Supergirl movie. That was really instructive.
I do have to say, I would really like a schematic over how that planet orbits around two suns, one at a time. I mean, there's plenty of dual planets, were like the dual sun systems, but then the planets, they tend to orbit the center of the mass.
Correct.
Instead of like, okay, now I'm going to orbit around this one sun, I'm going to flip and orbit around the other sun.
It's a figure eight.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, how the hell does that happen?
But in the comic book, there's only one sun. The movie, I mean, as silly as the comic book is, it is 1,000 times better than the movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As much as people hate Tom King, it's, and I don't know his other things that he's written. If they had just followed the comic book, it would have been a far better movie.
If you're going to do a deconstruction story, that's a good deconstruction story.
You know what wasn't in the comic book? Kara sitting on the toilet.
No. Yeah.
So, I mean, that was kind of a,
that's the
clue.
Yeah.
It was kind of a clue as to what was in the heads of the people involved in the movie.
It's the James Gunn. It's the James Gunn bathroom humor.
Yeah.
It just has to be in everything he does.
Honestly, he's never really done much bathroom humor.
Oh, Tom. No.
When? Where?
Peacemaker season 2.
I was going to say season 2.
Where? I'm trying to remember where.
Well, James Gunn's wife made reference to like, oh no, you can't come into the bathroom now because I just took a dump and it smells randy.
This is a perfect example.
All right, I guess. I don't know. I wouldn't say he's as bad as other.
I'll do a top 10 James Gunn bathroom humor moments.
Which I don't. I have to say I don't mind that because I have to say like Supergirl taking a leak was the least of my problems with that movie. I mean, I'd be okay with her taking a dump as long as we didn't have like one planet orbiting two different suns in a figure eight.
Yeah, just because I stick up for somebody doesn't mean I'm shilling for him. I'm just saying people keep associating a lot of the bad humor that with James Gunn that he didn't do. That's what I'm trying to remind people. That's all Taika Waititi shit that people think about.
He's a terrible humorist.
Well, that part I'm not going to argue. Like that was some stupid shit. But like, anyway,
Bryan Adams, yeah.
Yeah, so Drew Tipton says, Tom, last stream you mentioned a horror story about Bryan Adams, but didn't go on into it. Yeah, so he has this company. He's one of a few, like along with the Eagles and a couple other ones, that I feel like are basically destroying their own legacy by doing this. But they make it nearly impossible for you to use and or listen to, in a lot of cases, their music. Bryan Adams is one of the worst. And not only is he one of the worst, the song, for some reason, Everything I Do It For You, is the worst of the bunch.
Yeah. But it's his biggest hit.
Like, you cannot find the music video for that song. Like my buddy Greg of Fanzine did a video talking about the fact that you cannot find the video anywhere, but yet it was on the VHS. And his company, at Bryan Adams' company, struck the video down. Not just a claim, and he didn't even play any of the song or anything. They went after the video just wholeheartedly because they were talking about it.
Really?
Yes. So Bryan Adams is a fucking nightmare. And it's mainly because of this company that he uses to go after anybody and everything that has anything to do with him. So he's basically ruining his legacy. And it is so bad. I'll even show you how bad it is. Like, this is here. I gotta get this for you. I gotta bring it up here. Hang on.
So we can look forward to this thread now being struck down.
Yeah, well, no, we didn't put it in the title. Don't put it in the title, then you'll be fine.
As long as none of us say fuck Bryan Adams, we're fine.
Yeah,
well, no, you just fucked it up.
I'm gonna try to put this as a clip and we'll see what happens.
So yeah, so here's just a good example of what I'm talking about. Like, you know, the Live Aid concert?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Okay, so here's the Live Aid concert on Quoba's streaming service. Notice there's one song you can't listen to. Just one.
That man's
Isn't that bizarre?
He's got to eat, guys.
Motherfucker's got to eat, I guess. But the Eagles are almost as bad, so go figure.
Yeah, he has come under the sway of Roger Waters and his political machinations.
The Pink Floyd and Roger Waters, at least they will do revenue sharing. They won't claim you. They'll just do revenue sharing. I did a cover song of Comfortably Numb like 10, 15 years ago. It didn't get claimed. They just did a revenue share. That's it.
Yep.
So I'll give them credit.
Well, Adams, he actually, I think, didn't he appear before Canadian Parliament over copyright back in?
Probably.
Who knows? You know what? He is. I'm sure he's touring and he's just fine. There's not going to be any tag day for Bryan Adams, but he's disappeared from everybody's conscience.
Well, because that's like the thing. Because when you try to protect yourself so much to make sure no one gets to do anything, say anything, listen to anything without paying, well, suddenly you become irrelevant.
Yep.
Because now you felt as your fan base ages out and they move on, who's going to care?
Look at what happened to Garth Brooks, the biggest star on the planet in the 90s. Arguably challenged Michael Jackson in record sales. Fucking absolutely nobody talks about him now.
Yeah. It's one of the
because
things
he's so controlling of his music. Anyway, sorry.
Well, as someone who did achieve minor success, one of the things I did come to grips with was legacy. And I actually did a video a while ago talking about what does legacy mean. And you talk about Jack Benny. You can talk about all sorts of different people that had a massive success that nobody knows about anymore. And you realize that legacy is a chimera. The only way you can have a legacy is maintaining it, and as soon as you stop maintaining it, then it disappears. And there is the odd individual like an Einstein or something like that that overcomes that, but it's the exception, not the rule. If you're not willing to maintain, then your legacy will disappear soon after you've stopped. That,
You know, it's sad because Prince almost went into obscurity too because of that, because he was so controlling over his music. And then when he passed away, his estate opened up the floodgates. And I think that's one of the main reasons he's still popular to this day.
well, what would have Queen done without Wayne's World?
Exactly. And they were one of the first bands that they were very lenient with their film music or their music and films and then later on the internet. And I agree with you wholeheartedly, allowing their music to be loved by other people and being used in Instagram videos and stuff like that, and not so heavy duty, allowed it to pass on to other generations.
I can only attribute this to what I'm observing, not to any factual information, but based on the volume of Rush videos that people do. I'm conjecturing that Rush does not go after anybody for anything.
No, I don't think so. And they actually have a pretty good following. Yeah.
And they're one of the few old bands that just have a massive following on social media because they just let people make some money off them. That's the entire thing. I never understood a band that that went into obscurity in the 80s that freaked out when Rick Beato would do not a cover, but would analyze a couple of their songs.
Yeah.
And the label would freak out and everyone's going, wait a second, just let Rick do his thing. You're going to get, people are going to be, the volume of people who are going to be listening to your album on Spotify is going to just skyrocket.
Publicity.
I don't get it.
Yeah, I don't get it.
Well, what's the big deal?
We've seen it in real time
film
with Michael, right? And Michael's always been there. And that's part of the reason why he regained popularity again, because he's always been in the background of streaming. And the Jacksons and Motown have always been open about their music. Epic's been pretty good about that for the most part. And then when the movie came out, boom, all over across the charts on record sales, on Spotify, streaming. And that just goes to show you that if you make it available to people when they want it, it's there. And that's one of the beauties of He-Man. Say what you will about the Amazon film, but at least Universal's pumping out all this He-Man stuff, regardless of how the movie turned out.
Yeah, they just should have done it already.
They should have done it
before
already.
The movie came out.
But yeah, this all goes back to Metallica's bullshit.
Your point about Prince is well taken. I remember that he was so strictly enforcing his copyright that a woman had shown a 1-minute clip of her little child, 4-year-old, dancing to "Let's Go Crazy."
Yeah, I remember that.
And it's almost like there has to be some nuance. We went to see Yes down at the Roxy in Atlanta last year, and Steve Howe, one of the founders, is up on stage occasionally between songs, like an old man telling people to put their phones away, stop filming the show with your phone, this video recorder in your pocket that you're allowed to bring in. It's like, man, you've got to figure out.
Give up.
It's over, man.
It's over.
Stop. It already pissed me off enough knowing that it wasn't really the Yes that I was there to see, because they didn't do anything off 90125, which is arguably the biggest hit album they ever had. But the band has split up, and Steve Howe got to go take Yes. So you got to hear, I think, Long Distance and one other song that was released on the radio. Although there were plenty of people older than me that were standing up for every song. They knew every deep cut. I did not. My wife and I left a little bit early. It was unfortunate.
Yeah.
Steve Howe's zealous enforcement of no filming him did not add to our experience except to make it worse.
I got to give it to, what was it? Was it Blink 182? I think it was the thing where they had their fans film their concerts and then they used all that footage to make a movie out of.
Yeah. Music video, right? Or
a music video, or was it a whole movie? I thought it was like they did the whole concert, but maybe
they
it was
may
just
have. Yeah, that's funny. Yeah.
Yeah. But then Miller says Star Wars has another female lead show. Women are not going to gravitate to something with war in the name. Should have done more of the duel for the anime.
This is it's an anime, and it's The Ninth Jedi. It's like a spinoff of their anthology series. coming out in August.
So we'll see how bad that does.
Yeah. Well, I mean, what are they supposed to do? Have a young black guy who used to be a stormtrooper have his own movie or something? Come on, it's got to be women. We know this. That's Star Wars now. That's the
He could have
brand.
had his own movie. He could have 3 of them.
Finn could have been the center of the whole new trilogy. I would have been fine with that. But Ryan Johnson made him into a mockery in his version. So yeah, I don't even want to relitigate that.
Drew Tipton sends it $4.99. Said, "Would you rather a Ridley Scott Odyssey or Christopher Nolan Project Hail Mary?"
Ridley Scott Odyssey, please.
Probably because the Odyssey, we've got a bunch of them.
Yeah, I agree with that, because here's like the thing: we don't know what Ridley Scott would have done with the Odyssey, but we know what Chris Nolan is doing with the Odyssey, and for that reason, I'd rather go with the devil I don't know in Ridley Scott's Odyssey. Thank you.
He'd
very
probably
much.
stick some gay robots in the Project Hail Mary.
And Project Hail Mary was great. So why would we want to risk Nolan messing it up?
And also, Nolan is good at gay robots. I mean, that robot
that's true.
in
Interstellar.
Interstellar was fantastic.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'd be all for a gay robot.
He should have done Solo then, right?
Well,
I'm halfway surprised there's no gay robot in the Odyssey.
I mean, he's
no
who
shit.
knows?
Nolan-
Maybe that's his prestige, a gay robot.
Nolan is very much into gear porn. The Tumblr in Batman. There was some really good things in Batman.
Fantastic.
The Tumblr.
Yeah,
But I get why people like it.
I thought it was cool. It was
It's
fun.
cool,
it was a fun
but it's
trick.
not a Batmobile.
I hope they'll
It's-
he
gear
says
porn
that in the
wooden
movie.
That
horsey.
was a
more like a
motorcycle
back tank.
tumbler or something.
No, but it's they say that Fox says it in the movie that this is a military grade piece of equipment that they turned down. You want it?
Right.
It's not.
That's
A
I mean,
brilliant.
I have no problem with him using it. I just have the problem with it kind of de facto taking over the Batmobile spot.
Yeah.
Chris24 says, "Y'all excited about Werewolf?" Well, we were supposed to talk about it the other day.
Yeah.
Andre, I have not watched this trailer yet. I'm afraid to.
Which
Okay.
one?
You know what? You don't need to watch the trailer. I will
Werewolf.
say that the trailer is actually completely pointless to watch. Certainly it was for me, because I'm sold on the movie anyway. I think the movie is going to be fantastic. The trailer wasn't. So yeah, I'm excited for Werewolf, but I was anyway, and the trailer did not dissuade me.
Yeah. The trailer did not kill me.
Nah, it was just a mood board almost. It's just like
It was boring.
mood boring. How about that? Yeah.
Yeah, it was basically, you know what? All you needed for the trailer was like a 30-second, just like a title card on screen. Next movie from the director of Nosferatu, Werewolf, coming this day. That's all that was needed. I'm sold.
You're gonna show a trailer and not give us a glimpse of the final form of the werewolf. I'm sorry.
That makes me worry, actually, that there is no final form. It's just a madness, like how.
I'm hoping for that. I'm actually
Okay.
I'm not worried about it. That's what I'm hoping for, because
Okay.
to me, this was one of the brilliant things about the Northman. I think The Northman was a fantastic movie. Honestly, this is the guy that should have done the Odyssey, and that is how he should have done it. I mean, because basically, you know what he did? He took basically the story of the Vikings and the Viking saga, and he told it from their point of view, but through a lens which we can understand. Like, for instance, the end fight there, where they're naked in front of the volcanoes and stuff like that. It was really epic. It's told on their premises, and the informed viewer already knows this is just in their minds because they're freaking high on shrooms.
Right.
If you were to look at it in reality, like, have you seen that episode of South Park where they get like high on cat piss and you have like this epic fight in their minds, and in reality it's like the dad and like Cartman or something fighting in a sandbox? I assure you that the reality of that end fight in the Northman was something like that. Two guys that were completely whacked out of their mind on shrooms, just fighting in a puddle or something like that. But it's filmed this epic way because the movie just took their story, told it from their premise in a way that will make sense to an observant viewer. That is what should have been done with the Odyssey. I sincerely hope that after the werewolf, it is shot in such a way that it can be interpreted in two ways. One is that this is how it looked for the people at the time, for a superstitious people. This is how they interpret madness.
Yeah.
Like,
A
for
little
instance,
bit like
when you look at like
Nosferatu too,
vampires and stuff like that, and you look vampire werewolves, they're demonic possessions. These things are, there's very, very many things in common here. And a lot of them look a whole hell of a lot like what we know today as cluster B type personality disorders. Psychos, narcissists have always been upon us. And like, for instance, look at narcissists. What are they? They are vampires and leeches that suck your energy. And that through mythology was decodified as vampires and stuff like that. I'd be all for a movie where we don't really see the final form because it's a matter of interpretation. I hope that's where the movie is going.
I hope that the werewolf doesn't look like the wolf man from last year.
The Wendigo thingy. But anyway, you were saying something, Paul?
I was just saying it's okay. I thought Andre was describing my marriage.
Your wedding? Oh, okay. Yeah.
No, you know what? I'm probably describing a lot of marriages.
From her point of view, perhaps?
Yeah.
Hunter Dvorak's.
No, from both.
I'm kind of in Hunter Dvorak's camp here. I kind of trust Eggers on this.
Yeah.
He's kind of creating the universal horror monster movies we should have gotten for years. And this is what I've been saying. Right. Take the shit seriously. Make sure it looks and sounds a little bit like what we're expecting it to. But go ahead and have some fun with it. I thought his Nosferatu was a fucking masterpiece. I know some people didn't care for it, but I've seen it, God, a handful of times now. And every time I see it again, it's just, there's something about it that it just sucks you in like a vampire.
It's one of the best remakes ever made.
Yes. I mean, yes, I have some issues with certain things, but like at the end of the day, it's still brilliant. I trust Eggers on Werewolf. Hopefully it delivers. I'm happy with getting a Christmas movie from him every other year. So
yeah. So yeah, I'm very excited for Werewolf. I think it's going to be very controversial because I think that, just like Chris indicated there, that we haven't seen the final form. I don't think that this is going to be a traditional werewolf tale at all.
Might not.
I think that I'm just speculating here.
Well, isn't he supposed to be like exploring like more of the mythos from its origin?
That's what I'm saying. And
yeah,
the origin of the mythos basically is narcissistic,
crazy fuckers,
various crazy fucking people. Yeah. That is like what is lycanthropy, lunacy. It's crazy people. That's what it is.
Right.
Well, I mean, if you take like a very like mad man, especially back then with the hairstyles and everything they would have had, if he'd have been all frazzled and covered in blood and mud, what would he fucking look like?
Exactly.
So anyway,
the Tulip Crew. He would look like a werewolf.
I was listening to the Tulip last night.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
And speaking of controversy, go ahead, Paul. Andre, finish.
Yeah, no, like just to finish that, like yeah, I agree. I didn't really like the look of the werewolf, of the hillbilly werewolf in the most recent Wolfman. Not a big fan of that, but I think that movie had some very good ideas, and I wouldn't be surprised if not deliberately, but accidentally, there might be some similarities with that, and
he might do the same story, only better.
We'll see. Yeah.
See, we had a different kind of expectation going into the Wolfman, but anyway, you're saying, Paul.
I mean, you could do the story based on it being societal psychosis and not the individual. That the Wolfman is actually fairly a normal dude. It's everybody in town that goes nuts, and they see him in this light. That would be kind of a weird twist.
Yeah, I could see that.
Here's a fun thing. Just before we'll get back to the super chat that was just on screen, I just want to highlight this comment right here. A lot of it came from the hole in small parts of Europe because they didn't store their grain. The mold and fungus made them go crazy.
This is true. There's
this is actually similar to what was going on in the lighthouse. You know what really happened in the lighthouse? It's it's the same thing. It looks like this super weird supernatural thing it's two guys that basically poison themselves on their drink, and they go nuts from what they're drinking.
Yeah.
That's what the movie is really about. That is what is happening. This is what I like with Eggers, that he is able to take this way where you see the movie from the point of view of the people in it. But an observant viewer will see that we are actually looking at altered states of minds here. One exception being Nosferatu. But there we had the inversion, where they thought that she was crazy when she was actually being possessed. But hey, the difference between someone possessed by a demon and someone suffering a personality disorder, well, you can't tell the difference before the demon actually shows up to rip your face off. Because before that, there's no difference.
Right.
It looks exactly the same.
Yeah. Well, I think Paul would look exactly the same playing Helen. Damn it! And Action Com agrees. You're muted, Paul. Good job.
Good, Helen.
That's
I'll
a
go to
great
war for
Helen,
that.
yeah, actually. Yeah.
That's
you gotta
also
leave
a great
glasses.
Nosferatu.
Keep the glasses for sure.
Yeah, actually, it looks a lot like
Oh,
Nosferatu. Yeah. Holy
God.
shit.
Yeah.
You can see the Hungarian there.
Yeah, well, I do have Transylvanian blood.
Transylvanian. He never drinks wine. The skeptic tank is in the house. How you been? It says Asante's network TV adaptation is all I needed, commercials and all.
Oh, yeah,
network
Asante,
TV
that's a
movie's
famous
great
one.
again.
Of the Odyssey, yeah.
Yeah, I kind of
don't
miss
know.
I miss the made for TV movie, Paul.
I don't always drink blood, but when I do, I drink Dos Sakis.
So did you produce any of the television movies back in the day, or were you just mainly a TV sitcom guy?
TV sitcom guy.
Were they big deals though at the networks when they would do these big TV movies though?
Oh yeah, that was that was the prestige moments for network TV.
Yeah, there's some pretty memorable ones, and yeah, I miss them.
Things like I'm trying to think of the Japanese one was huge.
The Shogun.
Shogun was just a huge hit.
Yeah, and you had Roots, of course.
Roots, of course, that's right.
You know, and you even had stuff like the Stephen King ones, and of course the Jackson one we've mentioned before that were all pretty big ones. And there's the one that Nicholas Meyer did that we talked to him a little bit about, where the end of the world stuff with the whole bomb scare. Was it called End of Days or something like that? I can't remember now. But yeah,
those were fun times.
The day after, that's what it was.
Yes, Day After was great. Yeah. The TV back in the day was fun. No one cares now.
No,
even that new show, Stuart Saves the Day or something, whatever.
Or fails to save the day, or fails to save the universe.
It's not even a network show. It's going to be HBO only. So they don't care. They just absolutely have no interest in trying to resurrect the networks.
Well, it's about time they realize that the shit's dead and streaming is the new TV. But yeah,
I guess. But I still think.
But people miss it in a way. You do. Yeah. You're not wrong. ActionCom's been here for 34 months. Well, we don't miss you because you've been here for that long, and we hope you stay even longer. Markson117B says Helen has a twin, so actress playing two characters.
Yeah, and one of them was being taken away by Popo right there. So yeah.
And then Markson117B says Nolan takes part in activist marches. Yeah, I'm not surprised. And then over on the Rumble side, One Punch Fan pays his $3 Tom Rant tax. Thank you very much. But next week it's going up to Tree Fitty. Andy Miller says, Chato, do you remember Brando's for Mark Anthony?
Of Mark Anthony? No, I do not remember his performance as Mark Anthony.
Yeah, but
sure he did it.
He's Italian, though, so that works. I'm gonna take on your army. DCB Titan says, wait, Doomsday leaked. Is it any good? Well, we're going to talk about that in just a moment hopefully we're going to lose Chris here in just a little bit too. But I want to get his thoughts on it before he does leave. So yeah, we're going to talk about that. So hold on to that thought. Dark King says, see all the corporations dunking on Sony via X. Yes, I did. Domino's even got in on it. Did you guys see that?
Yeah.
Yes, I was told about that.
Yeah.
So what's your guys' feelings real quick on that? Because I know, Paul, you might have something to say about it.
Well, I mean, I think we talked about it the last time already. For the last 5 years, the discs have just been stub files that downloaded the entire and the entire game to your memory drive, whatever it happened to be on your platform. So how different is it going to be to just forget about the DVD that had basically nothing on it anyway? I think it's inevitable. We're going to get a lot of people complaining about it, but then we also have that meme coming out that if I don't own anything, then I should be able to pirate it, right?
Yep.
That's a good point. And then, we did talk about it on the last show. So if you want to check out more on that, Dark King,
watch the last show.
Exactly. Eclipse Warlord's been here for 54 months. Thank you for that. Andy Miller in the UK says, well, you are all wrong. I'm going 2 times on the 17th. Well, hopefully we are wrong, and it is a good movie. I'd rather have a good movie and be wrong than
sure.
Think I'm getting a good movie and get a bad movie.
We will never admit it, though, because that's the modern thing, is to never back down from your bad take.
That's right.
Hey, the former premier or prime minister of Australia, this female harridan, who was the one who changed the definition of sex in Australia and heralded all the trans bullshit, just recently said, well, it was a different time and I didn't really mean it to be what it turned out to be. And oh my God, this horrendous woman. So, if she can change her mind, then we can change ours, I think.
And then Barry the Music Man says, get Joe Jackson to slap the black off of Helen of Troy. Well,
ooh.
Andy Miller says, I hope Nolan gives the Xena hospitality and Nastos homecoming slaughter everyone of the 121 from book 22 of the poem for breaking Xena. Look, I hope you get the movie you're hoping for, Andy Miller, but you might want to familiarize yourself with the version that Nolan is telling us, just so you're not completely taken off guard by it. It's based on a modern retelling of it, just so you know. Valentine Puppy says, hey, Warriors, come out and play. Love you. Yeah, I see you saw my shirt. Thank you. And then we got Valentine Puppy again, who says, Andre, Norway in American soccer, row. I think he's actually stepped away. So
no. Oh,
Andre. Yeah. You're not Andre.
I thought that's who you were.
Yeah, I know. Well, on that note, let's put a pin in it real quick, and we'll come back around to the super chats here again, guys. Sorry about that, but I want to get Chris's feelings on the Doomsday leak.
Oh yeah. So apparently John Campea is confirming this.
He has, along with many other folk, confirmed this now. Even folk
there's
in our
a couple
own
of little elements missing from the leak that, like where's Wakanda? Where are the Thunderbolts? I'm just kind of, so I was led, that sort of made me think no, but it does feel real, and I guess how it ends, but it sounds very comic booky, and it's the Russos. And, I actually have a little faith in the Russos. I don't like all the setups that they're going through to get there, but I trust the Russos. We'll see. That's my feeling on it. We'll do a little more on that on bleedingfool.com this weekend, but I do got a jet. I got some emergency stuff coming up. Happy 4th of July, everybody. Celebrate America. Even if you hate America, you should celebrate America, because most of the great things you've got are because of America. And I'm going to leave it there. Love you guys. Love you, Paul, Tom, Andre. Have a great weekend. See you next week.
Take care, Chris, and check out Bleeding Fool. So yeah, we'll come back around to the Doomsday stuff again as when Andre gets back here. Nicholas Horton is in the house and says, hail, so will Midnight's Edge After Dark be back on Tuesdays and Thursdays, Tom? Plus the Tales of Eternia animation on YouTube. Episodes are only 5 minutes long. I'm not watching that. I don't care if they could be 1 minute long. I'm not watching that. As far as Tuesday and Thursday mead, that I'm not 100% sure on yet. I do know I'm planning on doing a couple different shows, like the tier list, and another new show, and maybe something else like we used to do. But I don't know if I'm going to do the standard After Dark. We might do something like it, though. So keep that in mind. But check out the channel, sign up, subscribe, so we can get it rolling. El Nino is in the house, and thank you for becoming a member, El Nino. We appreciate that. Oh my God, Mikey's here. Oh my God. So James Gunn is a self-indulgent, unmitigated disaster. As a lifelong DC fan, I didn't think Supergirl could be worse than that hoorah crap gun Superman, but it was total content garbage. Well, yeah, evidently you saw it. Then I'm taking Mikey. Good to see you though, Mikey. And then El Nino gifted a membership as well. So not only did he become a member, he gifted one. So thank you.
Oh, awesome. Thank you.
And then Andy Miller says, I have read 22, including Wilson. It's rather good. Well, I'm glad you liked it. I would can't
also
get behind that idea.
Yeah, I would also add to that it if you have read 22 different versions of it, you know the story quite well. And that's obviously going to help because you know how it is supposed to be, so you can appreciate what she got right. And it's probably not going to be that big of an issue. I'm not going to say what she got wrong, because it's not really anything wrong per se. It's more a matter of bluntness and loss of subtlety. You already know those subtleties, but from someone who is reading it for the first time and who's only reading that, they don't know the subtleties that is being missed, because it's not a matter of translation, it's a matter of localization. And that is where I think that Wilson fails primarily, in localizing the story for a modern audience. But hey, that's just my opinion. You are more than welcome to disagree with me on that, as I'm sure you do, and that's cool. And
we got a few Rumble rants actually, real quick.
Yeah.
One Punch fan over on the Rumble side says, Paul, will you ever do a live show? Maybe call it Chatocast.
Ha! I did one 8 years ago. Do I need to do another one?
I was going to say, I think you're always kind of like, you've had this thing where you're like, you'll be on other people's, but you just don't do them yourself.
Yeah, I contribute.
It's like your gimmick. And then we got One Punch fan says, I wonder if people are going to like Asylum's Odyssey movie better than Nolan's. They might.
I doubt it, because this has been my issue with Asylum parodies, when they really botched the original thing. There you have the opportunity that Asylum actually could do something proper, and they failed every single time. So I very much doubt it.
That's true.
That would suck. Yeah.
But you never know in this case. And then One Punch fan says, sing it, Tom. Save. Well, I can do this. Save Stargate. I don't know if I'm supposed to sing it a certain way or not.
That was good.
Yeah.
One Punch fan says, happy 4th of July, everyone. Number 250. That is correct. That is correct. And then One Punch fan has one more and says, congrats on the new channel, Tom, from sub number 37. Well, awesome. I'm glad to hear it. It means we're making some progress over there. Thanks so much, guys. Check out the new channel if you haven't already. I got a video up. I'm trying to get 1 or 2 more up this weekend, if not. But Andre, the Doomsday leaks. Break them down for us.
Before that, though, Valentine Puppy wanted super chat.
Yeah, he was talking about the soccer thing. I think I accidentally removed it. So do you have?
Okay, I'll find it behind the scenes here then.
Yeah, it was about soccer or not soccer, but row thing. I don't know.
Yeah, here we go. Yeah, I see it behind the scenes here. Valentine Puppy said for $2 American. Andre, Norway in America soccer. Row. Yeah. Yeah, that's pretty awesome how it's taking over the world. And would you believe that our leftists here in Norway, they initially were against the whole Viking imagery and the chant, because they considered it to be uninclusive, racist, right-wing, and uninclusive. It was too much Norwegian culture, and that's exclusionary, won't you know? Well, freaking look at it. Look how a piece of Norwegian culture is right now uniting the world, how everyone loves it, how vanquished foes on the soccer field will join in the rowing afterwards. To me, it's beautiful, absolutely beautiful.
A lefty government tends to hate men enjoying themselves.
Yes. And everything that's good, everything that is actually the original culture. This is what I hate about multiculturalism, because it has been so disastrous to diversity of culture in Europe. I mean, if you look at like European capital cities 20, 30 years ago, they were all distinct. They had their own unique culture. Now they're all the same multicultural hellholes where you have to watch your back lest you be stabbed or something.
And if you just want to talk about the Norwegian rowing team, I think that has done more for Norwegian tourism than anything else. You're going to get a huge uptick in tourism, mainly because of all those shenanigans out there. Because everyone went, hey, these people actually have a sense of humor. They look like they're having fun.
And how good an ambassador is Haaland?
Yeah. Oh, fantastic!
Dude, this is the best freaking ambassador any country could ever have.
And it's too bad they lost. Right, they're out. Norway's out.
No. Norway is in.
They are okay.
We because here's like the thing, the coach, he made the strategic decision, because it's funny. I was watching that game against France where Norway lost embarrassingly and humiliatingly. So I don't blame you for thinking that we're out. My son, he was like offering, maybe they meant to lose, and I was like, yeah, son, didn't quite work like that. But from the mouth of babes, he's 8, and he was actually right. I don't think they meant to lose that badly, but basically the head coach, he took a look at the lineup and decided this matchup against France, it doesn't actually matter because we are further either way. It's the next game. That is the one where if we lose, we are out, regardless of what happens in this match against Spain. Really? So what he decided to do was basically to run the B team. He took all of the top players, because this is the problem with with Team Norway. Yeah, we're doing good right now, but we have like 3 top players, 3 world-class players. And everyone that is still Team Norway, meaning they're the B team, right? So we rested the really, really good players. Like, take the day off, because we're going to need you. We're going to need you good and rested against the Ivory Coast. Not because it's the Ivory Coast, because if we lose that game, we are out, regardless of what happens against France. We're probably going to lose that anyway, because they're like, if not the best team in the world, then they're the top 3 best team in the world.
They're pretty good at the tournament.
So we basically have no chance to win that anyway. So we're just going to let our good players rest. We're going to take the loss on the chin. You're probably hoping not to lose as badly as they did, but they did. But then did the comeback against the Ivory Coast. The Ivory Coast did fight a mean game.
Yeah, it was.
Norway won in the end, and we're still there. So now on Sunday, Norway is fighting Brazil, the soccer nation of Brazil.
Yeah, but Brazil sucks.
They do. Brazil never, ever recovered from the humiliating 7-1 defeat against Germany a few years back. That destroyed the entire nation of Brazil. I'm not even joking. It ended Brazil as a football nation, but it also ended them financially, everything. It was basically
I thought they won the World Cup once after that.
No, they've never recovered.
Really? Okay.
They've never recovered. They've never been the same.
Well, Germany didn't do so well this year.
No, but hey, it ebbs and flows, doesn't it?
Yes, it does.
Yeah, and you know what the fun thing about Brazil? Regardless of I'm not going to do anything advanced, but I have a good feeling, because Norway has been in a match against Brazil 4 times in the past. 4 times Norway has gone up against Brazil. You know how many times Norway has won out of those 4 times?
3.
2.
2.
You know how many times Norway has lost out of those games?
None.
Correct. The other 2.
Well, I'm wishing Canada first.
Oh, that's of course, as well you should.
Yeah, but Norway has caught my attention. I like the tall blonde guy. He's good.
Hold on. He's the perfect ambassador.
And he's a good player.
Everyone is looking like him, getting it like his haircut and everything. Yeah. Luckily, I had that before, so that's my excuse. I had that before.
I remember seeing you like that. Now, so are the cognoscenti, the wine spritzer community in Norway, aghast at these hooligans acting in such a memorable fashion in the United States.
Well, not anymore. Only the most radical. Only the most radical. Like now, you even have in Parliament, you have people rowing. So now it's taken over completely, because they can't fight it. I mean, you have like the radical, like for instance, the previous game, the ones that scored were Haaland, and then it was Nusa. And you had like a radical commie who was like, this is very good for anti-racism in Norway. That Nusa scored, show all the racist message because he's dark-skinned. And the feedback was like, dude, we like Nusa. He's a Christian. He's a conservative. He loves Norway. We don't have an issue with him. So yeah.
Right.
That's basically what's happening right now.
Well, yep, we'll see what happens.
Yeah, indeed. So looking forward to seeing what happens.
That was our soccer. That was our football.
That was our soccer debate for now.
I say football. Yeah. I say football.
I agree, it's football, but since we have a predominantly American audience, I will respect that. But soccer. But of course, it is football.
I've had a few Americans complain to me about that. They said, "No, we have football." I went, "No, you have afraid to let the ball touch the ground." That you should rename your sport to afraid to let the ball touch the ground.
It's funny, like, because there's like this song. You have like these football songs, right?
Yeah,
there was a song for the last time that Norway were in the World Championships, which was also in America, and that song is called "The Duel in L.A." It's a fantastic song, actually. And in that song, maybe I'll put it up somewhere. I just have to subtitle it first because it doesn't exist with other than Norwegian language. They basically have this group of fans that go to America and then they're complaining. It's like, the hell is this? I mean, the goal is way the hell up there, and the ball isn't even round. I was like, but it says football on the ticket. So yeah, that's like the joke there.
Well, American football is more like a military scrum.
Yeah, indeed. Anyway, let's moving on. Tom is getting
cut up America.
So is most everyone else.
We've dealt America a blow.
I will also say that it is being hosted in America, so there is that.
We've only lost like 30 or 40 people already, so let's move along here.
Let's move along to Marvel's failings.
As Barry the Music Man says, here he comes. America, the country 'tis of thee, sweet land of liberty. And believe you me, I'll make sure there's liberty even if I have to punch it in the face. Happy birthday, America. That's right. 250, looking good for being 250. That's right. Happy freaking birthday. Go USA.
I thought we were going to get the Marilyn Monroe version.
Who said I was done? Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to USA. Happy birthday to USA. Happy birthday to you. I'm not wearing any underwear, by the way.
To you.
Yes, indeed. Happy birthday, America. Yes. So Doomsday, Andre. What's break us down with the biggest leaks of this that are out there now? Because John Campia has confirmed, Gary has confirmed, Chris of Film Thread is confirmed. How many more people are going to confirm this before it's confirmed?
Well, I think we have quite enough confirmations that the leaks, that's the movie we're going to get. I'm not going to break down the leaks in detail.
Yeah, because we're going to have a video coming, I think.
Later, yeah. I will say that I think it sounds like an absolute piece of shit. And I think it's making some massive, massive, massive mistakes, which I think is just going to destroy the whole movie right there. I was worried the whole time that right now, okay, fine. So you have the directors of some previously very good Marvel movies. But the problem is that when those really good Marvel movies that the Russo brothers directed before, there was a whole team in place behind the scenes that made sure that everything was fantastically, awesomely good. You had James Gunn there for one, but you also had a number of other writers and you had a number of producers behind the scenes that just acted as quality control. All of that is gone now. Now it's just these directors and Team Feige, and that's it. All of the people that assured that there was quality before, they're gone. And it shows. Because you have, I'll just break down a couple of things here, which I think is the really tremendously detrimental stuff. Because this thing is based on the storyline from the comics from like 10 years ago, where you basically have universes and planets colliding together. And then after that, it's like new secret war with Doctor Doom creating a battle world and everything. All that continues. I don't know, I never really read it myself. I read the original Secret War. But anyway, this is how the story begins. That there's incursions and universes and everything are crashing together. And the first thing to go is the world of Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man. You know, fan favorite Tobey Maguire Spider-Man, and someone who goes in the process is not just a Wolverine, but the Wolverine from Deadpool and Wolverine. That literal exact character. The movie opens with the two of them dying. And here's a teaser from the video that I'm about to, maybe I should save it, but I'll save it right away. When I read that, the thought that occurred to me was Terminator Dark Fate. A movie that tonally actually isn't too bad, but it was never able to recover from the fact that it killed off John Connor in the opening sequence. From that point onwards, nothing else matters. The movie was dead because it had just undone everything the audience loved about Terminator 2. Because now you have a sequence that takes place weeks afterwards, and John Connor is just blown away by a different Terminator. That is what I was reminded of when I read, oh, you're killing Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man and the most popular iteration of Hugh Jackman's Wolverine. Now they're dead. They're dead and they're gone. Forever. And then we follow characters that we haven't seen for many years, and they're all being duped. So like kind of like, where's the fun in that? They're all being played. And there's this really stupid, convoluted plot that I thought was basically nonsensical, with Doctor Doom basically fooling everyone. He kills the son of Chris Evans, Captain America. So again, underdoing his happy ending and everything like that. And then towards the end, we are told that the twist here is that now everyone is brought back again, but it's not really them, because they have forgotten their entire lives and they remember like a new reality, thinking that they have been on this battle world the whole time. It's their only recollection. So basically the versions of the character that we all know, they're all dead and buried and gone by the end of this movie. Then who the hell knows what's going to happen in the next? But as I read it, like for instance, you can take any kind of story and you can try to retell it in a way which sounds like really stupid and dumb. You can do that. But then you have things that really are stupid and dumb. And there's very little that can be done to make it good. And as I was reading the spoilers here, that's what I was thinking. Dude, this is just a convoluted mess. If you like read a breakdown, if you were to do a similar breakdown for Infinity War, that would be dark, but it would be compelling. It would be interesting. To me, this wasn't. This was just frustrating. And that's what I think the final movie is going to be. So I could be wrong. Maybe they're going to completely knock this one out of the park. But now we already know what this is going in. We know it's going to be dark. We know it's going to be convoluted. We know the fan favorites are all going to die and be gone. We are previously happy endings will be undone. There's no explanation, as we heard rumors of before. There's no explanation so far of how this Doom looks exactly like Tony Stark. So maybe that comes later. I don't know. Maybe they don't even address it. But still, to me, this is just a convoluted mess. And I was tremendously unimpressed. And I was expecting to not really be impressed because, again, I knew the whole time that all of the really good people behind the scenes that helped make the previous movies from these directors crowd pleasers, they're not there anymore. Feige got rid of them. And without them, evidently, to me, it looks like they haven't been able to get up to the same level. That's my thought, at least. Mr. Chato, what say you after my ramble?
Well, I've heard some things now, and now I've heard yours. The one thing that we will know is that I think we can guarantee that visually it should be solid. It's not going to be clumsy like the fight scene at the end of Wakanda.
No, but you know what it is going to be, I think? Generic.
Well, I mean, my biggest concern is...
I hope to be wrong, but...
Well, I think my biggest concern is that everyone has aged out of those characters already. It could very well look like the Rolling Stones resurrecting themselves after all these years. That's my big concern. I mean, don't forget, these comic book movies can accept a certain amount of idiocy. They're quite flexible that way. Although one of the things that was great about the Avengers leading to the final movie is that there was a lot of really good discussions, and they had a fantastic bad guy. I mean, we talk about the good guys can only be as good as your bad guy, and Thanos was a really, really good bad guy. Now, are they substituting all this TVA stuff and bouncing around between different universes?
Yes, actually, that's where it got really, really convoluted, because basically you have to have Doom explain the TVA, which Loki has taken over,
Right.
And then we find out off camera that Doom has actually killed Loki and taken over the TVA for himself. So yeah, it's there in the most convoluted fashion.
So the TVA becomes, in a weird way, the antagonist, which is not going to be satisfying.
So yeah.
So I don't know. It's going to be spectacular. But we also know a lot of money is going to be on the screen.
That it most certainly will be.
So yeah, I agree. This is going to be a huge fiasco for Disney and Marvel. I don't think it's going to do very well at all. I think it's going to open big, but I think it's going to fall off a cliff.
Well,
I think
we'll definitely open big.
I mean, it will help if Spider-Man's really good too, but again, like if Spider-Man isn't that good, that's really going to hurt this film's chances. Because if from what we're hearing, like, yeah, there's some hype a little bit there for Spider-Man, like we were saying earlier, but not as much as you would expect. So that's one problem. The second problem is the story they're adapting. From my understanding, that this is not a very popular story amongst the Spider-Man fans.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
In fact, it's one of the most hated stories, I guess.
Excellent. Always good to pick the good one.
Exactly. It's great to hear that, right? Yeah. So, and I'm sure there's some people in the chat that'll back me up on that. So that being said, like I'm worried for Marvel. I'm worried for superhero movies in general. This could be the year that it kills superhero movies for a while. It could be another Batman or something down the road many years from now before we start to get back into this again if this goes really south. I mean, these leaks sound ridiculous, and they sound very convoluted and messy, like Andre was saying. And I mean, I'm sure that we're only getting bits and pieces of things, and there's other context we're missing out on. But at the end of the day, enough of it is here to where I don't trust the Russos on their own. Like, there was a reason why DC went after James Gunn, for better or worse.
And not for them. Yeah.
Yeah, I know. And I know people like to poke fun at it or whatever, but it doesn't matter. At that time, on paper, there was nobody else more suited or qualified to take over either Marvel or DC than James Gunn. Now, granted, Marvel would have been a better fit, But what happened? That's not what happened. Kevin Feige was not going to let that control go. And the way that James Gunn was treated at Disney, he was done with Disney. So that being said, this is where we're at. And that moment might be the moment that actually broke comic book movies forever.
You think so?
I think so. I mean, the movie that ruined comic book movies forever was Multiverse of Madness. But I think the moment the comic book movies broke was the moment that Alan Horn fired James Gunn so publicly that it created that rift behind the scenes. Because for those who may not remember, and even though we brought it up many a time before, the Endgame was a demarcation of where things were supposed to split off into two separate universes for Marvel. Not like separate, like they were going to be away from each other, but like James Gunn was supposed to oversee the cosmic side, which was going to, be basically spun off of Guardians of the Galaxy, while Kevin Feige concentrated more on the multiverse saga. So what happened in the end? Well, the space stuff got dumped and we got the multiverse saga. And James Gunn finished up with Endgame, said, thanks, y'all. Peace. I'm out after, volume 3 and the Guardians special. And he came over to DC. And he was already going to do that before Guardians 3 because he had gotten Suicide Squad and Superman in between there. Like Warner Brothers, they made that phone call the day that happened. And that's when I started hearing rumors that this is the guy they're going after because they want somebody to head up DC, just like they were talking about. They want somebody to head up Harry Potter and all their other stuff. So
it seemed like a good idea at the time.
It did. I mean, but the problem we have here now is we're stuck in this position where is what I think broke comic book movies. Yes, the woke shit. Yes, the other stuff added into that. Don't get me wrong. But the Marvel universe was broke at that point. Like there was no coming back from that. They lost the momentum that they had going forward. And Endgame was more than just a clever name, basically.
It's a little bit too well.
Yeah. So with that, I don't know if there was anything else we could say about
No, I don't think there's anything else to
Endgame, but I know we got a video coming, so
yeah.
I'm going to stay out of the Endgame until I'm going to stay out of this commentary until the movie comes out.
That's fair.
I think.
Or at least a trailer, I would imagine.
Indeed.
I am going to have another 30 Supergirl videos coming out.
No, of course.
They doing that well for you?
Oh, they're doing extraordinarily well, but no, I'm done. I think the last one I did comparing the movie to the comic.
You could do one about her wearing skort.
Yes.
Yeah. But I do believe that you also have to be off because you have.
Yes, we're wrapping things up. I think we're all caught up on the super chats and the Rumble rants. And it is the 4th of July in less than 12 hours here. So let's get on out of here.
Have a happy 4th of July. I look forward to Rashida Tlaib's rousing American speech.
Yeah, indeed. I also look forward to what's the death to what's the death chant, right?
Yes, death to America.
Yeah. But as for me, I also would like to say a happy 4th of July to all of my American friends. Celebrate hard, party, don't do anything that a Norwegian wouldn't do. Row and have fun. Have a blast. Yeah, knock yourself out. And I'll be having a drink too in celebration of America.
Indeed. And I just want to, thank you guys for all the support through everything this last half a year so far with everything going on. Hopefully you join us on the new channel. I want to thank the individual who sent me a PayPal payment this morning as well. It was nice to have something on there to wake up to. So appreciate it. And happy 4th of July, everybody. Have a happy and safe one. Check out Paul Chato's channel. Check out Bleeding Fool, of course, and stand by for more videos from us here at Midnight's Edge and Midnight's Edge After Dark. So take care.
Indeed.
Happy birthday, America.
Indeed.
And
thank
bring
you.
on the koalas in the rain.
Koalas in the rain, koalas in the rain, no fucks given. Koala, koala, koalas in the rain, koalas in the rain, no fucks given. Koala, koala, koalas in the rain, koalas in the rain, no fucks given. Koala, koala.
I see you, Garvin Ambrose. Thank